galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. A galactic historian goes to each and every line of dramatic karma and lives in soul family with everyone, so they see the big picture of all of the karma that's going on in a local part of the universe.
The infrastructure of potential was there. You still had to connect the dots and use a series of free will expressions to get you there. There are also a number of people, the karmic doors closed them off to so much. All that was left was this galactic historian guy on the internet. People who listened to the Galactic History 1 and within a year went back to sleep because the world turned to be really shitty and no one woke up. None of the predictions happened. I understood as a higher soul that being in this time with the perceptive nature of the human I could be attracting people to the material that a person had to open the door with.
Welcome everybody to this week's Talking Stick show. Once again, I am joined by incredible co-hostess Amy Kruzic.
Hello everybody, hostess. Oh, okay.
And Dale Tobin.
Hello everyone. The Fellowship of Amy Kruzic is here. Last week that was funny. Amy, do you want to tell the listeners about the Fellowship last week?
The Fellowship ring.
Yeah.
And Andrew. Everyone knows Andrew Bartzis, I think. Hi,
I get the shitty introduction.
Yeah, what was that, Laura? Come on.
I was
Round of applause.
I was crying that Dale was getting carried away with the Fellowship.
Yeah, I know. That's that crappy introduction.
Well, I was actually going to do the one and only Andrew Bartzis, but that's even worse, isn't it?
No, I would have been fine with that.
Okay, rewind. Go ahead, Laura. Say it again.
So I'd like to welcome also Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic historian, and I can't think of any more than that, Andrew, now.
I'm supposed to be the one and only.
The one and only.
The one, the only.
Oh, yes. Is there another Andrew Bartzis? Have you ever Googled that?
Yes. There is an Australian politician. He's in like some kind of province government, and then there's a footballer in Australia too, and then a banker in somewhere else. But they're in Australia.
You need to bring them together. Bring them together, Andrew.
What was that?
Nothing like me. I found him on Facebook.
Was it Egypt you mentioned, Andrew, where that you saw that guy who looked exactly like you when you walked out or something?
Yeah. Like exact twin. Except he was and we both looked at each other like, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was like a double take moment, like, huh? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. That would be great if you got a photo. You both got a selfie together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have my phone on me. I went at that point because we were at the Egyptian museum, main Egyptian museum, and I was overwhelmed by the energies. And I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, guys. I don't fucking care. This shit in here is evil.
Run for your lives.
Yeah, because even on the way to it, I was burping and burping and burping, and everything. What's wrong? Like, never mind, never mind. There are some demons in there that I don't want to talk to.
Yeah. Wow.
I lasted 30 minutes. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm out. My own tour people.
That's funny.
So funny.
That was the only place I couldn't stay in.
Yeah.
The only place I couldn't stay in.
Mm.
I was fine everywhere else. Sakara was tough because of the beggars and the side road cheater people that were always there trying to scam you for something.
Mm.
The child beggars that are there, they're born to be a beggar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
Would you go back to Egypt, Andrew?
No, not until there's a significant change in the governing body and the rip-off culture that's there.
Okay.
No. And to anybody that's an Egyptian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is not feasible for me to bring a group there without something significant going on. Laptops being stolen, you have to bribe to get them back.
Yeah.
Camera equipment that is standard stuff that people take pictures with. They steal from you and you got to bribe to get back, on and on and on and on. And then you have to have armed guards everywhere you go.
Oh, shit.
And you don't really need the armed guards.
Yeah.
But they're a show of power that tell the criminal groups that run the fucking beggar gangs there to go away. Okay? And then the city, the whole country is covered in piles of trash and dead animals in these piles. When I'm talking piles of trash, I'm talking 2, 3, 4 meters tall. It's 100 meters long.
Wow.
Everywhere. Dead donkeys in the piles of trash. And they're terrible what they do to animals. They're terrible.
Oh, the smell. Oh.
No, the way they treat animals there.
Oh, yeah, that too. But dead animal smell.
In the piles of trash, in the big cities. Okay? When I mean piles of trash, I mean like literally piles, mountains of trash everywhere. And it's not from the tourists that are there. It's not the tourists. It's the local population doing that. And it's because it's so internally bureaucratically corrupt.
Mm.
They must have a big problem with disease.
They do, yeah.
Wow.
Again, that's why the disease is not the issue. Wherever the tourists go, it's very clean. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go back until the bureaucratic thievery is taken care of.
Yeah.
So why don't they take care of that, Andrew?
It's called built into the culture.
Okay. So it's yeah.
Okay. You know, I would say something a little challenging. Like you go to India, it's a third world country in many of the places that you go to. And you regularly see a guy squat down in the middle of the street and take a shit with people watching him. That's commonplace.
And you see all those videos, don't you, with the not washing hands and all the
They literally just squat and take a shit right on the train.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where was
the way they deal with women? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Terrible.
Mm.
But
All right.
again, that's culture. That's not me judging the culture. That's the reality and the facts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
America's got plenty of issues too. Don't get me wrong. We have our third world issues here too.
Yeah.
We're not really a first world country.
no. So what was your favorite parts of Egypt? If the favorite moments, like
Oh, being on the Nile on the boat, 14 days on the boat. Oh,
Yeah.
that was so incredible. Just hanging out on the boat. And then, we'd go a day on the boat, a day somewhere. The boat would dock. We'd get out in the morning. We'd drive 2 hours, go do whatever we're doing, and then drive back. And it was repetitive. We were there for 17 days.
wow.
So,
Oh.
So did a lot of that happen, like bags trying to get stolen and paying it back and stuff?
no, not on that trip. We had some stuff go on. But
Okay.
I've had a number of friends that have gone there with other tour companies. I have another guy that does a food show, And a lot of the stuff I'm telling you about, the cameras being stolen, bribed to get it back, he had to pay like 40 grand to get his shit back.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was $150,000 in camera, but too. Okay. And that's not, it's not just him saying that. It's dozens upon dozens upon dozens of people who go to Egypt for whatever purpose. And then if you're a spiritual person and you want to go there and do a basic meditation, the religious police are on top of you with their hand out for a bribe.
Oh, to meditate. To meditate.
You're not even allowed to meditate anywhere. You do the slightest little spiritual thing, they're on you like fly on shit.
Wow.
Mm. Wow.
I guess this is why it's better to go to places where it's not as kind of population. Loads of people go there because I guess it ruins it a lot, doesn't it? With all these people coming.
Tourism has a way of corrupting the populations that the tourists spend money on.
Yeah,
that's an issue.
Yeah,
20 million people a year go to Egypt for traveling. I'm sure they leave lots of junk. But why has that culture been like that for a very long time? Huh?
Yeah.
It's the internal bureaucratic corruption. Turkey, the country of Turkey, it's run by 5 crime families and has been for the last 70 years. Okay? They're not politicians, they're crime families.
Are they
Think of any of the big Italian mafias all came together, decided to take over the government. That's what happened in Turkey.
So like Mexico?
Worse.
Worse, yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
that's where to go and what to do. There's a whole world out there.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, we're looking at it right now, spinning around. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm looking at all the land there.
Yeah. So it's like, why
would you
Egypt?
go?
I wouldn't go back to Egypt until at least the piles of trash and the beggar kids and the bureaucratic thievery is taken care of. Okay? It's not worth my risk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I went to Grenada in the Caribbean and I was so excited to go there. But as I got there, I realized the poverty. And as I walked around, everyone was trying to grab my hand, get some money off me. People, and it just had that weird shady energy as you got there. And it never recovered from the hurricane. Went to the actual rum factory where they produce rum, where they do it with the feet, which was good. But when I left there, I was like, I'm never coming back here again because I just feel it's not nice.
That's right.
Yeah. Unless you're in like a reserve area where they have a place where they reserve it and they, build. Yeah, you're all right. But as soon as you go into the Caribbean and certain parts, it's just like, third world countries.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is there no one else in the room, Joel? There isn't, is there?
It's a call-in show.
So we call to the chicken shits out there.
Yes, where are you?
Use your hammer fist.
We're going to have to do a chicken shit revocation.
Come on to the hot seat.
Oh yeah, I'll grill somebody if they want to get grilled.
we primed Andrew.
The barbecue
for you.
The barbecue, yeah.
What do you want to be? Toasty, extra toasty?
The Galactic historian.
Flame broiled.
Flame broiled. The Whopper, the king of the Whopper.
Flame broiled.
What gave you the idea of that, Andrew? The hot seat, the roasting. Did it just developed?
It's developed on its own.
Yeah.
It's its own organic development.
Yeah.
I was talking to Joel the other day. We have 60% of our listening audience is now millennials.
Yay! Millennials! Woo! Come on.
Whereas a few years ago, it was all seniors and Gen Xers. Now it's all it's the majority is millennials now.
Wow.
Call in millennials. Calling all millennials. Call in. Oh, we don't. We want to.
Millennial-itis.
They're all at work.
They're all at work.
Millennials don't work.
No, that was a joke. Work from home.
They're too proud to work.
Oh, yes. We have a members show on Thursday, guys, at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time after the first hour of Andrew's Adventures into Reality.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you're a member, guess what? You get to go into the nice pizza party room.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, look.
There's someone who just popped in.
L'Oreal.
Lorelei.
Lorelai.
Lorelai.
Lorelei.
Lorelai.
Lorelei.
Yeah, Lorelai.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. Gosh, it's actually been a couple of years since I have really listened, Andrew, and heard you live. And today, I just have to say, I was like drawn to look for you. And they're like, somebody call in and be in the hot seat. I'm like, I guess that's me today.
Well, you get the award, Lorelai. You get the award for being the non-chicken shitter.
Yeah, Andrew's got heels on. He's got the heat up high. What meat's in there, Andrew?
All right, so you want to go in the hot seat, huh?
I think so. I think there's a lot of frame. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm that much.
We'll start with a level 1 heat, and I'll put a little bit of cherry wood smoke on you.
Thank
Tell
you,
me a
Alfred.
little bit about how your life is going right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Tell me how a little bit of how your life is going right now.
Okay. It's wild. It's really intense. I just got back from a personal retreat in Sedona for 2 weeks. A lot of things happened, a lot of connections. A lot of it is still like unconscious. I'm not really sure how to really kind of tune in, right? What's going on. And I am in a really tough position where I have especially one teenager, a 17-year-old, that is really being drawn in and being choices and things that are really being heavily influenced.
Like
and drugs and
what
just
kind of drug?
marijuana, and I believe he's tried LSD and some pills.
Okay.
So I really feel like I'm doing everything I can. But he's not my responsibility in that way, that he is responsible for his own life and that I'm responsible for mine. And I think that's, for me, I'm getting to the point where I'm really able to like detach from that and let that go. So I can really do the work I need to do for myself, and that he needs that freedom for me.
But you're actually unable to do your own work for yourself.
Exactly.
So put him aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't you unable to do your own work? Is it because you've been a mother for too long and don't know how to be yourself?
No, like I'm in it like every day. I'm here. He's here. I'm here.
Once again, you don't know how to be yourself without putting your child first.
Okay.
For all of her own personal needs.
Some of it is like physical threats. Some of it is that if I don't contain it, this particular child has been violent. This particular child attacks other people.
You've never done anything really about it to nip it in the bud early. because you wanted to be a powerful mother that could mother through this.
Yeah. I have an antagonistic environment where my husband went through a similar thing and he just wants to say, let him do whatever he wants to do. And so there's a very mixed message.
And the mother and you won't let it happen.
Yeah.
Okay? So the challenge right now is to learn how to be you instead of mother first.
Okay.
Mother has become let me give the right word for this. A martyring option for you.
Okay.
You are a martyr mother. You will sacrifice everything for your child, including your own personal well-being and happiness.
Yeah.
And it's
now
like,
now we've hit the emotional point in you. Part of this is me turning the flame up. That was just light smoking, low heat, light smoke. Okay.
Yeah.
Turn the fire up a little bit. Why are you still with an antagonistic partner? You're financially bound, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. And every time I go to try to do what I want to do in the world, I am not. I feel like for me, I haven't been able to. People don't want the services that I have. I have put myself out there, and I really don't want to go work
because you've externalized everything, including your own responsibility to be you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as long as you are externalizing everything and staying in the martyr motherhood, you will go nowhere, if anything, backwards. This does not mean you get a divorce, and it does not mean you stop mothering the child. It means you got to learn how to be you while letting go.
Yeah.
And the letting go journey isn't going to be easy, okay? Because it's an addictive drug for you right now. Now I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more.
Okay.
When's the last time you really had quality intimacy with your partner?
Recently, like like the summer is a good time. He's a teacher. So the summer, we're kind of two different, we can shift into two different gears.
Okay.
But then when he goes back to work, then we're both in those separate gears. And
so you have you only can basically make out in the summer, and the rest of the year you get nothing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a shitty situation. And you've done nothing to change it. Just because he's a teacher doesn't mean he can't man up and take care of some of your needs during the rest of the year. You've just accepted it and put so much focus onto the kid and not your own journey. You now have lost the intimacy relationship with your partner, except for during the summers. And I guarantee you what you think is good is not good. It's good enough for the moment that you get. And that's it.
When I do put pressure, I get pressure from, like, for my husband, right? Like, I'm like, I know my son needs a father, and I can't.
No, that's the martyr talking.
Okay. Okay.
Your son doesn't want anything from you guys right now. He wants to run his own life and leech off of you as much as possible. That's what teenagers do.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
Well, doesn't he need somebody in his life to stand up? Like, if I stand up and be strong,
he will only be an authoritarian and he will reject you. And the same thing if you put your husband in, it will only be an authoritarian and reject him, and you will lose whatever final relationship that you have. And the son's already proven to be violent, already proven to be in that situation. That means the reality is it's time for him to move out and get a job.
Yeah.
And risk the relationship with the child.
Yeah.
But that's not something you're ever prepared internally or externally to do.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to add anything? Turn the heat up on her.
So as I like seeing you, it's like you like to walk away from your own self all the time, and I can see you like chatting to other people but you. It's like there's a constant tug of war of everyone's energy but your own kind of self. So for me, it's like you go out of your body when you go into mum mode. Straight away, you're out of your body pretty much 80% of the day, most of the day, and you're in that internal program. And it's for me, it's about you actually coming back into yourself and realizing who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? What choices am I going to make moving forward? Am I going to start writing down who I am? Because I need to start clawing back some sort of awareness of who I am again, because my awareness now is for everyone else, and this awareness has to come back to the valley of me. And you have to be focusing on the present you in this now moment, because you've lost yourself to your son, to your partner, to everyone else, and you've given your power away. Every day it's like, everyone take my energy. Here, come into my body, come to my space, because I don't want to be me anymore. And it's how you can actually start day to day saying, I want to be me. Who am I? I need to be present in the body. Realize how ungrounded you are at this moment. It's like the words when you're speaking, like that you's not there. It's like there's external stuff going on in your own processing at the moment. So for me, it would be about day to day training, becoming grounded, being in the body, learning skills and sets where you're actually telling yourself, I have to be here now present, because I'm going to destroy myself, or I'm going to end up going insane if I continue where I'm at. And it's going to be a lessons of hard knocks, and you actually writing down what parts of you have given up on yourself. Why did you give up on yourself? What age was it you gave up on yourself? When did you decide to actually stop evaluating who you are as a person? Because at the moment you're just like, fuck it, I give up. So it's how can you actually bring an awareness through to you and see the many eyes of you looking back at you saying, come on now, it's time to awaken to you, not anybody else. Because as soon as you came on the call, you were going on about your son straight away before anybody else, before yourself. So you have to start putting yourself first now.
But how does she do that? She hasn't done it for so long. And that's why she couldn't process her whole spiritual journey that she was on.
What was it like for you growing up as a kid, going into adultcy?
So let me say this too, is that it's my body, my body is really rebelling. I have not been able to do the things that I want to do because my body is screaming at me, and I have been taking care of it. So I would definitely say that I have been taking care of myself, but I'm probably still at the tip of the iceberg. Going from adolescence, it was adolescence to, you mean like adolescence to adulthood? My life, I chose a really, really, really tough, really dark, abusive road around me every turn, no safe place. I was pretty much abandoned right after high school. My parents left, gave me no money, did nothing, and just wanted to manipulate me because they didn't want me to be. I was in California. They wanted me to come with them to the Midwest. And that is eventually what happened. I had nothing. I tried to do my best to get on my feet. And that's left a major part of myself behind, and allowing myself to be manipulated.
And yet part of you, Lorelei, wants to manipulate others in terms of your son and your husband.
Yeah.
And you want to take responsibility where it's not needed.
Yeah.
With both of them, rather than taking responsibility for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really what it all comes back to, is the focus should be back on you now. Because trying to change their journeys or what they're going to do is just, your body's going to scream at you even more. I mean, there's reasons your body's screaming at you.
Yeah.
It's saying, look after me, please. It's my turn.
Yeah, she's demanding it for sure.
And do you know what? When you do that and you start focus on you, your life around you does change. People around you do change. But as Dale and both Andrew have said, they're leeching you at the moment. They're taking your energy, which you need for you. And it's not like you haven't recognized some of the choices you've made, that's taking responsibility, but it's just taking it to the next step. Okay, I've made these choices. I can make another choice and another choice to get myself out of this spiral of giving up on myself and giving it to them. Because they're just going to keep taking it, as the others have said.
Yeah.
So what's stopping you looking after you first?
I feel like it's being alone, that if I do this, most of the time what's happened is I have to like leave everything behind. I'm not supported. I don't have any money. I feel like that would be, if I really went forward, that all that would be true.
Do you have to leave to go forward, though? Do you have to physically leave that situation to go forward, or can you
think
still
I
live in that
do.
situation?
I don't know. I've tried living in the situation and doing what I need to do, and then leaving for 2 weeks to be able to go in Sedona, but I was also visiting my parents, which was horrible. But I keep asking myself, then maybe that is what I need to do. I have to just face. I've looked at the places I want to be and created situations and talked to my husband about buying a second house, where he does see me not being able to separate. And so I feel like I need to be more bold and take more steps and just, go ahead and go for it and not ask someone else's permission. But it's scary. It's very scary, but I think that's where I'm at. I have to just face it and go forward.
Can you do it in smaller steps where you stay where you are, but you drop the being called on the whole time, or putting yourself out there for them the whole time? So you could physically stay where you live for the time being. I'm talking about a step at a time. So the role here, or the goal here, is to self-empower yourself minute by minute, hour by hour, and day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. The baby steps.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
change your whole attitude and the way you handle things right where you are now. And then you don't have to deal with the physical aspects of where you live and putting yourself into survival and all that. It's a lot of this is changing your attitude. It's how you approach things and putting yourself first. And just have a little barrier up between you, not a barrier, but something between you and your son and you and your husband, where no, not now. I'm not doing that down. Or to yourself, I don't need to step into their energy field. I need to take care of my own energy field first. Is that something you could work on doing straight away?
So I am standing here and I'm saying, okay, I am doing this. And the thing is, the physical proximity is the violence from my son, which then keeps me from being able to sleep at night and function, and the non-support and the resistance from my husband that I've done everything I feel that I can do, because they will not back off.
Do you think they're afraid? I have to say something, Lorelai. So we don't get a manual for marriage and we don't get a manual for raising kids. Like, we have to go and learn as we go along.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say that I'm not sure what I mean when your husband says non-support. you're not supported by him. Because I think they could, if you reverse it and flip it, they could be afraid of losing you. Like, have you ever just did a blind leap into the void and just really went in there and learned about your belief systems and your patterns and have just a talk with your husband, like on a deep level of what you really want?
We've been together 24 years. I have, yes, and very recently he is, without going into the whole big thing though, but he is resisting his awakening. He's resisting going into who he is. He's faced the darkness, but now he doesn't know what to do after facing the darkness. And when I was gone for 2 weeks, they did do better without me here.
Do you think you're on them? Because energetically, like on them when you're with them? Because I understand what you're talking about.
Sure. And I hear you. And I am just trying to be very aware of always turning things back on myself, always looking at myself. And then just trying to, like, for me, as I change, that's the only thing I can change. But there comes a point when other people, like my teenager who needs to be responsible and not, like, yeah, for sure, try to take stuff from us, but he's constantly manipulating, lying, trying to take stuff. And my husband doesn't want to face it. And my husband wants to put it on me instead of on my son. And so I'm like, okay, you're not living your lives and what you need to do. And I know that I'm not living my life and what I need to do. But I am not projecting it at them. I do believe, though, that it is 100% accurate that I need to take responsibility for my life and what I need to do and let that go, let whatever they are doing or not doing. I do believe that I draw some of it because I project fear. I think I'm afraid. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of rejection. And so I am just realizing that I'm projecting that. And that is what they are stepping into, my fear. And so
they play on it. They play on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why the fortification, has to come in. That's why it feels to me like the deep talks have to come in. Like, sit your husband down and let's have a chat and let's talk about this, because either our son's leaving or he's, has to step it up.
We have had this conversation. I'll just say that I did have I did the beginning of the year. It's exactly it. I'm like, this child, a young adult, this adult youngin isn't going to leave happily, isn't going to leave prepared, may or may not. This is a year, and I brought him to counseling, and we've had some other things. Like, we need to prepare that we've done what we need to do. So when that day comes, we both have checked our boxes off and been like, this is it. Here's your hat. Here's your stuff. It is time. And I feel like I will be ready. I don't know that my partner will be ready, but I have put out that and say we need to be ready. This is not going to be. It is going to be a failure to launch.
You're still doing we, and not dealing with the I.
Okay.
You are mingled into everyone else's shit. You don't even know what your own shit is.
Okay.
Okay. Your child's going to go out into the world whether he's ready or not. He's already made a set of decisions.
But he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay home and keep doing the same shit that he's doing.
Well, then the answer is no. You got to go get a job. You got to start paying rent.
Yeah. Okay, but it's still me. Like, I'm the one putting myself in everyone else's business.
That's because you're arguing for everyone else.
And you want them. I can understand why you want them on your side, because what you believe is what you can see, what you believe. And it's like, I just see, but that's a hard one to get someone else to come to the other, to come in the middle, unless you can change the language or change the attitude of how you speak to them.
And yourself.
Yeah.
And what's happened, L'Oreal, is you're getting frustrated because they're not behaving in the way that you want them to behave. And you can't get them to behave like that. And it's not them you need to change, it's you. To even start to get that to happen. It's like, I think you said, you know, he won't face his awakening. Well, in many ways, that's none of anybody else's business, because that's his own awakening journey. And if he's not ready for it, to push somebody in that direction is like a forced evolution. So it's like it's sort of stepping back from their business. And the more you focus on yourself, the less you'll need to step into theirs, because you're seeking something from being in their field that you've actually got in your own.
Mm-hmm.
You've got it. You have got it in you. You just need to find it. You've got that love for yourself within you somewhere, in your source connection, in your heart. It's there. But you're so busy with them, you've forgotten how to find it within yourself.
Yeah, it's a distortion. It's like you're getting a payoff of some kind from them.
Yeah.
You know, that just fuels a fire in you, but it's the wrong fuel.
Mm.
You know, it's the wrong, it's not wrong like, oh, you're wrong. It's just feel that differently. Feel that, don't worry about your, believe me, I was on my spiritual path. My husband, I tried to get him, you know, and no, he's doing his own thing. But guess what? He's beside me. He sees me changing, and through osmosis, he changes.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, you know, what kind of a teacher is your husband?
He's a science teacher. I mean, that's what you just stated is very similar to us, in that his path is different than mine, but there is a it's not a cohesiveness at all, but there is a reason. There's an attraction. There's a bigger point in the two of us being together.
Mm-hmm. And my husband is an engineer, and I had to learn to talk different to him because he's very analytical.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm like opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just trying to find, and this is for you to do, not him. He doesn't need to change his language. Change your language in the way you talk to him. Talk to him in numbers. Talk to him, you know, in that, you know, sort of way where it's like step 1, step 2, not in that way, but you know, the way he likes to talk is how you need to learn. That, to me, may change things. Because when you're talking one way and he's talking another way, you're not understanding each other. And it's kind of cool how I learned to do that, because now, you know, can you explain that? What do you mean by that? Just ask questions back if you don't understand. Oh, you mean this? Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that helps, but
I mean, I think that it goes back to also to what Andrew had said, is like, I don't even know my own, because I'm so involved in everyone else's energy. And also to what was said is, I'm gaining something from that. And because I am, I'm continuing it. So
it would be a good idea for you to start scheduling and writing down at least like an hour a day of you time, and putting that a day, making sure you do it, and realizing the laser focus here is you. And those where you try and run back to everyone else, give yourself a slap on the wrist and say, no, this is me time. This is me hour. And you have to start getting used to that at some point. Actual time for you to actually, be you, be by yourself, go for a massage, go swimming, just something where you can be alone and start actually hearing you again.
Yeah.
Because it's so loud in your brain at the moment with everyone else's noise. So it's how you can actually start going into some sort of relaxation silence process. It doesn't have to be silence, but just the point where you can actually spend time by yourself, maybe learn a hobby, maybe go to the cinema. There's so many things you can do. Variation. The more you do and the more you're aware of actually you time, it's going to become easier and easier step by step. And like Laura said before, it's not going to be a fast thing for you. It's going to be a step by step process of it, bit by bit. But you have to put the pen to the paper and do the schedule, make the plan, actually make the choice, make the commitment to yourself now.
Yeah. I'm also recognizing what I had said earlier too, which was like, really, I'm afraid of being alone. I said I was afraid of being alone, having to leave everybody. I'm afraid of being alone with myself. That's who I'm afraid of.
That comes back to your abandonment issues that you had as a kid, which is coming back to the core of what's going on with your issues right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to face these particular issues?
I think I did have abandoned it before. Like I get to this point. Even my star family, like that's one thing I really feel like my star family has really been reaching out to me, and I am frustrated because I feel like
that's an externalization of the journey and will do nothing for you as long as you continue this externalization of the journey. And it's what you did to have escapism.
Yeah. Okay.
Escapism is not something you can do anymore. You don't have the luxury anymore.
There's a lot for you to think about, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's
Just
definitely plenty things.
We got some other callers that are get to. Why don't you call back
Okay,
in a month and how things are going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take baby steps.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So we've got some hands raised. So we're going to go with the iPhone on sec, giving you the signal to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Florida. This is Delaney, Andrew. We talked on Thursday.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on with you?
So, I wanted to ask you some questions, but first I wanted to let you know, all of you, as well as David, I know he's not here, that I received the message that I needed to last week. I'm looking into my abandonment issues. I am working on them, and I recognize the behaviors that I've been exhibiting for years and how they've affected my life. So I wanted to thank you.
What did you hear in the last caller that was similar to some of your stuff?
Not the last caller, but the last time that you and I and David had talked on Thursday. We talked about my my home life, my husband, things like that.
That's the caller we just had had some similar issues to you.
I did hear it. Yes. I had been unwilling to look at those issues for a long time. Didn't even really know what they were. And now I'm starting to explore that. I'm still in the beginning. But I have already found benefit from it. Just a little bit of peace, a few of the bricks off the load. So some of the things that I'm using are, of course, looking at the little child within, but a tool that I use is a picture of me as a child, so I can pull that out and look at it and talk to that child, ask that child how they feel about something. That's one of the tools. Setting boundaries. I do set boundaries. I have been setting boundaries. I just couldn't express it last Thursday for whatever reason. So I have been setting boundaries at work. My husband and my boss are both very similar narcissistic people. And so I've had to learn to deal with that. I don't know at this time how that's going to look a year from now, but I do recognize that I need to go through this first before I go through anything else. And I need to lay the foundation. So I got the message.
Okay. Now what?
Now I wanted to ask you about the we that you talked about. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is it like a Sybil we or, cosmic family we? What kind of we are we talking about?
It's we versus I.
Can you explain the
When
difference?
does I become before we?
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
When does I become before we?
When does I come before we? I don't know.
And that's part of your unique journey that you got ahead of you.
Okay. Well, the only thing I can think of is my crap needs to come first before I can.
Literally, your crap's got to come first. And that means you got to actively take out everybody else's crap.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. I feel you. I'm working on that. All right. That's all I wondered. That was my question. Thank you.
Well, there's more going on with you.
I know.
The fact that you're willing to look says a lot. Okay. It really, really does. But are you ready to look in a different way? And a way that's not looking for character flaws, but looking for new parts of the journey for you. Because you've been pushed down, beat up, self-beat up so many times. You don't have a lot of patience for the time it takes to do things to get reality out, to get what you want out.
Yeah, I recognize that. And I recognize I need to ride that horse patience a lot more than I do. That's part of this whole abandonment issue, I think, as well, as I want it to happen right now. And I recognize it's not going to until it's time to. I do get impatient and I have to remind myself to back off and to shut the hell up, basically, and just chill out and wait for it to happen. And my biggest problem last Thursday is I really didn't know what was going on. I felt like it was a lot bigger than it was.
Okay, now what?
I'm just going to continue working on these abandonment issues and see where that takes me, and continue to meditate and continue the thing that I need to work on. I watched your YouTube video on fire ceremony and detoxing.
Yeah.
And I think that may be one of the next steps.
Well, does anybody else want to add anything what fire ceremony will help do for a person that's in the challenging that she's in?
I do. I've forgotten your name, darling. Sorry, it's not. It says iPhone.
Delaney.
Sorry?
Delaney.
Okay.
Yes.
So for me, with what you're going through or what you're trying to sort out within yourself, you're going to share this with the fire. So do you do any spiritual practices at the moment?
I do saging at home. I need to do it a little more regularly, but I do it. Crystals, things like that. Mm-hmm. Not religion.
Daily practice?
Daily practice, meditation, mindfulness. I spend, I don't know, anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour of meditation. Could do more.
Is it always meditation?
Sometimes it's just going out in nature. And last Saturday, I sat outside in nature all day. I live in the country.
Right. Okay. So you need to develop a prayer practice, first of all.
Okay.
You want to take your prayers to the fire, because your fire is your portal to the unseen, or one of the portals to the unseen.
Okay.
It's the shaman's first friend. So,
right.
So you need to get in some preparation for that before you have the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
did you say you've watched some of the boot camp?
No, I just watched the video that was out there on YouTube that Andrew, it was about an hour and a half podcast. I don't remember the young lady's name.
Oh, okay. So it gave you some instruction on how to prepare for your fire and so on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the one thing, the biggest thing for me that's missing from your daily practice is prayer.
Good point.
It's just like it's not even one of the cornerstones. It's you know.
Okay.
It's the main piece, because you're going to speak, and you can do it quietly. You can do it inwardly, but you want your out loud, name it to claim it voice, as Andrew would say. Your soul wants to hear you speak. Your ancestors want to hear you speak. Have you heard any of us talk about ancestors before?
No, but I have a general sense of what it is.
Cool. That's great. So prayer's got to be your first thing. So you need to bring that in on a daily basis. So if you've no more time, then I would say cut down some of your meditation time and insert prayer into that, so that when you come to do your fire, which you will need to prepare for as well, because there are certain things that are going to add to the intensity of the energies at your fire if you do them in preparation, like when you collect the wood, saying prayers to the wood and so on.
Right.
I
need to go back and watch the video and actually write it down is what I need to do.
Yeah, go back and our boot camp videos as well that we've got out there will take you through many, many practices. But if you take something away from this, please do a daily prayer practice. And then you can write prayers and take those to the fire, because they're going to, when you start working with the fire, it's going to start trying to bring you some balance. It's going to work with you. If you go with the right intention to work with that fire, you will start bringing back balance, whatever it is that's out of balance, what's going on, your abandonment issues and so on. And the fire is going to show you where you need to work.
Great.
That's just a brief sort of outline, but please do prayer.
One of those prayers as well, like internalize finding the truth of you, and that's a big part of you now, is finding the inner truth and hearing the inner truth on a regular basis, that you can actually hear your own prayer words and manifestation of you being true to you. And that's something you're going to have to use and start using in your process, changing up your schedule so there's moments of you where you can actually speak out loud, and obviously the revocations, invocations, name it to claim it systems, where you're actually internalizing your own truth and rhythm again. Because I feel that's the big part of your growth now moving forward, is being true to you, but hearing your own truth through your own words and your own knowing that you are ready to change and you're ready to grow with the internal truth to be figured out through the great mystery of you. And those revocations Andrew's got on his website, and using those on a regular basis are great starting points. But then starting your own and doing one where you're internalizing your own truths. Why couldn't you speak up at a younger age? Why would you let people speak for you? Kind of bringing yourself back and telling the universe, I'm ready to be me now.
And then there's going to be truths you don't want to hear. You're going to avoid. You're going to distort to be untruths. And you got to be willing to hear the truths you don't want to hear, especially when it comes to your son. Okay. What level of violence has he done?
Go.
Have we lost her?
Yeah, I think we lost her.
We've lost her.
She has dropped out of the room.
Wow.
Okay.
Shit happens.
Yeah. We'll move on and we can come back in.
So we're gonna. So I don't think she's coming on. We'll get her on if she comes in for next. So Bob, we're giving you the signal to unmute. There are a few dodgy names in the kind of like, are they trolls? Are they not? Might be. There's been no response on a lot of them. We are
Hi,
giving.
everybody. Can you all hear me?
Hello, Bob.
Hello.
Hi, Bob.
How are we doing? I just thought I'd call in and get a reading off you guys and see what comes up. Hey,
Long time no see.
Purpose. What's his purpose? He keeps asking.
Yeah.
purpose.
It's,
Well,
it's
just
to
a quick
play table tennis. That's your purpose.
table tennis, dancing. But I mean, like last time I was on the show with Andrew, we talked about subcontracting my body out, and I'm doing a little bit more of that again, which is actually, which I do see that though. That is what I'm actually seeing, but it is necessary at the minute just to get some money in, because I am having 2 weeks off in November, and I think if I can just get some work in. So my daily practice, I don't know, I've still got a routine.
Let me interfere for a second here. I've known Bob for a while now, and you don't sound like Bob right now. So I want you to actually measure your own frequency right now. You used to be named Frequency Bob for a reason. What's your frequency at now?
My frequency is quite low. It's like 230 odd.
Why have you let it go so low?
Good question. Let's see. Let's go into that. Right. So we've got fears coming in. I can scan myself.
Who are you? The first part of the question: who are you allowing to take energy from you without restriction?
I would say not anyone particular, but just maybe a collective where I live. Maybe
not even any of your kids.
Yes, yes, because obviously I've got changes, big changes for next year, and obviously I have got things that's moving forward, renting the house out. I had someone come down on Saturday, and obviously looking in the kids' bedrooms, and my heartstrings was going a little bit, and so yes, so there is an energy exchange there where I am releasing energy to the kids. I had my youngest daughter around tonight. I'm putting the telly on for her in her bedroom. And she's not, and I can feel it, and I'm thinking, she knows that it's not her bedroom, so she's not bothered. So there's that. I am seeing the bigger picture, but also I'm seeing the daily, the actual things that happen every day. So it is, it's tough. Let's be honest about it. It's quite tough. So I have lowered my frequency. Sorry, Andrew.
So what can you do to raise your frequency and not continuing to let it lower? At least get to 400, 500 hertz.
This is the thing, you see. So what I have stopped doing, which came up last night, I did a group meditation, which was really good, and I enjoyed it. I was bringing guitar strings in with clearing chakras and stuff, and I enjoyed that. And it was something that came through when someone did a reading on me. Practice what you preach. So I do practice, and I preach to people about obviously protecting your own energy, clearing your system, putting visuals if anyone's coming in, keep them outside.
But when it comes to your family, that's all pointless.
Yeah, that's right, because obviously it's everyone else, it's all right, but I have stopped doing that. And it's like something that I've got to go back.
Practice what you preach includes to the family members too, even if they are young children.
Yes.
You're not stopping loving them, you're just not allowing them to lower your frequency.
Yes, I agree. So that's something I need to work on. And it's something that has slipped my mind with the kids. And maybe I have allowed that in. And my ex-wife, which that's been a big thing. But we come to some. Actually, that is quite a good relationship, because it's like our souls have kind of come to the end of our maybe like learning, like, or maybe a chapter, and that's in quite a good relationship at the minute. So obviously she's moving on, which is a good thing, and it allows me
To move on.
To move on, yes.
But the reality of moving on is what for you right now?
Yeah, the reality of me moving on is
not solidified.
Well, my reality is not where I'm living at the minute, and this is the problem.
Because you've lowered your frequency, given out your energies, and not maintained the solidness that you needed to go through these changes.
Yes. So I need to go back to like a routine and a daily practice.
It's not just a routine and a daily practice. It's defining new boundaries for growth.
Right.
But having those ceremonies and rituals reflect the new boundaries for growth.
So maybe, just doing the stuff that I used to, fire ceremonies and that, and just speaking to the fire and using that alchemy exchange and just building that energy up. I think what's happened is
you still have the everyday choices that you have to deal with.
And this is the thing, I'm still living in this.
Having somebody to come look at the house triggered something inside you. A whole bunch of introspection you weren't ready for, which lowered your frequency even more.
Yes, yeah.
The reality of moving on is the reality of moving on, and you got to deal with the things that keep you attached to not moving on. Work with those, getting rid of those attachments in a loving way so it doesn't create more damage in you. And allows you to have the choice of what's for me, what's the best thing for me, regardless of the rest of the family. You got to know the difference, because when it comes to the right choices, you will make the right compromise, but you won't make a compromise that's going to distort your true growth.
Right, and maybe just an all, Andrew, is live in the present. Stay in my body, because this is why I'm putting myself in the future when I have to live in this place and be in this place and be in my body. So I've got to start grounding myself. I'm ungrounded, you see, and that's a big thing.
Because you want to move on to these things, and you're denying the energy from where you're at right now.
Yes.
So you're draining yourself from all the different ends because you want the new thing to happen, but you don't want to be stuck in the old energies, and the old energies seem toxic to you.
That's right. Yeah. This. Maybe I've changed my frequency, but obviously lowered it at the same time. It's a bit of a conflicting.
Sure, but by lowering the frequency, it made it harder for you to make the choice to move on and easier to stay there and losing more of your free will choice.
That's only in periods, Andrew. That's only in periods when I lower it. I don't raise it. I raise it. And then I do see the picture again.
That's enough to lower your frequency.
Yes, so exactly. I'm not balanced at the minute. My frequency is up and down. It's fluctuating, which I agree with. So I've got, maybe that's right. I've got to take in consideration the kids and keep boundaries just with the kids, and that energy is right.
Energetic boundaries. It's internal energetic boundaries first. Because the second you start feeling sad about the changes that kids are going to go through, you've externalized your responsibility to yourself.
Right.
If you're going to move on and change, the kids are going to have to deal with it. That's the reality in it. And every time you contemplate that, you don't want to put the kids through the challenge, which then lowers your overall energy process.
Right.
Are you excited about moving on, Bob?
Yes, I think I see the big picture and all the good things that we're going to do, and I'm looking forward to that. I just think the energies will be different, and I'm excited. I kind of surrender into that and excited, but also there's a mixture. Amy, and there's like what Andrew said, that there's obviously I'm giving my energy away and not grounding myself and not protecting myself in that internal protection.
Well,
do you look at your emotions? Do you really look at them? I don't know.
I have.
Why.
Yes,
what do you do with them? What do you do when you feel an emotion of any kind?
If anger, usually I see myself in a third party, and it just like, and then I have a look inside and see where that's coming from, and delve into why it's happened, who it's from, or if it's me, and then I'll deal with that when I need to. So that's
but how do you release them?
Yes, so obviously releasing in the way of like what, crying or
yeah.
Yes, so I struggle with the crying release. I do cry when I see other emotions in other people and they're released. That kind of releases something inside me. But
have you seen him cry, Laura? Have you seen Bob cry before? Don't think I've ever seen you cry, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't think I have, not even on the table.
Because I was feeling this pent up. I was feeling this pent up emotions inside, and that, you know, how you just cry you're wondering why you're crying, and it just feels so good.
Yeah, I really struggle with the crying release. I have done it. I did it, let's say, a couple of weeks, and it felt really good, but not in front of people. But it's
Dale and Laura want to see it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is the test for them. They've got to try and get it out of me, and I think that's what I do need. Good cry and just get that release out my body.
But it has to come natural. It's a natural cry. Do you know what I'm?
So I'm not pushing it, Amy. I just think when it happens, it happens. I am doing good things. My lifestyle has changed a lot. I'm not going out in the week drinking and stuff. I'm exercising. I'm eating well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we did a plant medicine journey about a month ago, and I did all sorts of things wrong, but I'd learned, there was lessons there which I learned.
So, Bob, let's just talk about this a little bit, because this will be a good teacher for everyone. So what did you decide? I had a word with him about not doing anything like a week after, chilling out. What happened when you got back from the medicine journey, from like the first evening to the next day? What did you do?
Yeah. All right, so yes, I got back, and then someone rung me from my dance thing, and obviously drama, and there was a bit of drama there. Picked her up, and obviously I had that on the first night. The next morning I took my mum out, and then took her shopping, which was, I want protecting there, and then I went to work straight after, and then I started doing loads of shadow work and going through my traumas at 10, 11, 12, writing all this and going into this sacred fire thing I do. And the intensity, and because obviously I was still under ayahuasca or plant medicine, it was just like 10 times worse. So I had another load of the circuit. So I did everything I shouldn't do after a plant medicine. So I wrote all the rules down, the 10 rules I've got. What not to do, and just like protect your energy and just be careful. But I was meant to see that and realise that I'm not supposed to just go out willy-nilly and just see people. It's just, you've got to be protective of yourself. And I think because obviously I'd raised my frequency with that, I didn't realise it before. My awareness was bigger. My awareness was greater on this specific weekend. So
did you think you were all powerful? Do you know what I mean by that? I don't understand ayahuasca or what happens in that, what you're supposed to do, but
not all powerful, but felt quite
like
energized and quite free, and like, yeah, there was it feels quite natural when you've got, and you have like release and traumas and stuff, but it was a really good journey. Better than my last one, because there was a lot of demonic, or it's not demonic, I don't like the word, but attachments to other people who I was associating myself with, which worked good for me. So this one was a different journey, and it was quite deeper. It was like more about the future and certain techniques I can use, and it was my like spiritual growth, and which I was excited about. And obviously I was writing this down, and then Yeah, it was. So it was quite exciting. So I was quite excited, but maybe too excited because I started doing loads of work straight away. And
Because you went out and you met people and you went out and you did all that. That's what I
did
mean
all
by,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what I meant by all powerful. Like, I'm just going to go out and, because I'm, I don't know if that's the feeling, if you're getting what I'm asking.
Yeah,
but
I know which one. I know what you're feeling. You're on about, Amy. Maybe not
yeah,
like that. I think I just didn't protect myself, and it was like, when you're on that high frequency of coming back from doing a journey like that, you struggle. I think it's more about putting some prayer, doing some writings, just relaxing, going for
right.
some
Did you,
walks, just keeping your own privacy in a little way, and not like blabbering your mouth of everything you've done and stuff like that.
yes,
Which I didn't do.
that,
That's one thing. I have done it before, and that did backfire on me, and that was another lesson. So
it was
did you
maintaining your energy field, wasn't it, Bob? You had the responsibility to maintain your energy field and being like the kind person you are, again, with the boundaries, like Andrew said, you went out and helped the dancing.
I was like Dick Van Dyke dancing on the chimney stacks and that. I was just like all happy and just
Mary Poppins.
and just giving my energy away all over and just like anyone.
Yeah.
But in reality, you became Silent Bob.
Yeah. But then I was like that before I went on to that, wasn't I? That was Silent Bob. I know, I know this silent.
I get shit,
really
mate. I get just as much shit from Andrew as you get from me. It's so funny. Like
that's what
I say to you, like Andrew said to me many times, like that Silent Bob joke I've got going on with you for so long. It's so good.
I know. It's like you was at it today and all, and like miming. I'm thinking, I know. Is it? You're right. Because I don't come online all the time, or I was busy today. I was really busy, like subcontracting my body out, which was really hard work. And that's the thing. I need to stop doing this manual labor, but the money was really good, and I just think I've got to get through this for the next couple of weeks, and it serves a purpose. But I'd love to be doing other things like we're doing at the clinic. I'd love to be doing my psychic surgery, scanning people, talking to people, bringing my teachings out where I can just speak the truth and just give them advice on stuff that I've learned from you, my mentors. And this is the beauty of it. It's a process. We all have mentors, don't we? And we all need them. So that's what I want to be doing. But at the minute, I am in between. I'm like a transitional period, which I understand and I get. And it's like,
you want to trust, Bob. Do you remember the session we had?
Yeah, I trust Great Spirit.
Trust in the universe, because you're going back to, you need to do this, you need to do ceremony, you need to do that. I know what your practices are. You do great on your practices. You're just missing that little bit of joy. You're shutting out the joy that this journey is bringing you, this big change, because you're, as Andrew said, just stuck in the past with those mental thought loops of, what about the kids? What about this? What about that? Well, you've co-created with the universe to get you where you are now and to get you on this journey going forward. Don't lose that trust and that co-creation with the universe. That's what you have to do. Co-create, keep that co-creation and the joy. And when you start having the joy in it, things are going to feel much easier, and you won't be worried about whether you're out your body or not, or whether you've done a fire ceremony or what you need to do, because you'll just be on this nice universal roller coaster of excitement, joy, and that energy is just going to help you deal with your kids, because that's the biggest one.
I agree, and I've been quite positive with the kids. I mean, the kids, fine. I mean, yeah, we had a little moment, but that was just myself. But when I talk to the kids, I know what it's going to be like. They're going to want to come and live with me down. They're going to do all these things because I've seen it. I've seen all these things and the feelings that it brings. So I do trust in Great Spirit and Great Mystery. This is why I'm just surrendering to it. You're right. I've just got to get some joy and bring that into the present, where I'm just going to enjoy the process until it happens. And this is what I've got to do. You're right.
The like needs to be a slowing down with you, and because there's a part of you which argues for your limitations quite a lot, and you don't realize it as it comes out, and it's about you actually slowing down the Bob and actually understanding that you have become silent Bob, because at the moment you just put yourself on hold and give everyone else your power basically, and it would be a great idea for you to actually write down like in the morning, what frequency am I in now? What frequency am I in then? And start writing down and seeing what actually frequency you're in and understanding it on data. Holy shit, I'm this low frequency when I'm around my kids. I have to lower myself for my kids. I have to do this and that. And you have to start understanding that you go in cycles of loop to loop to loop of lowering your frequency. Then you say, I'm fine, I'm going to just do this to get out of it again. But then you go back into that loop to loop cycle again. But then you tell yourself, I'm fine, and I'll argue from limitations and get back out of it, but you don't. So it's like how you can actually slow everything down, realize what frequency you're at, who takes your energy away from you. Why do you have to lower your frequency for certain people all the time? Like friends, places, people, family members. And you have to stop doing that. You have to stop lowering your frequency for people and stop changing yourself for other people to make people happy. And that's something I had to go through in my own way for my children and my own friends and family and so on. Because I've experienced it, Bob, what you're experiencing now.
Yeah. And Bob,
we know we love you, and yes.
I know. I love you too.
I love you.
And can I just say, it feels like you're in flux, constantly changing. Oh, so happens you play ping pong, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, think about that. The ping pong game. That's in flux. I'm going to go here and I'm going to change this, and it's constantly changing, right?
You're right. I think that's a great point, both of you, especially with Dale and all. Maybe just start looking at my internals and seeing why my frequency's changing with certain cycles with certain people. And I think that's what I need to start back to the basics with that. That's a good thing.
You're really good at ping pong, but
and that hit the nail on the head there. Where's frequency Bob gone?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to write that down. Where's he gone?
Exactly. Where has he gone? He's there. He's still there. I mean, on the Sunday, we had some brilliant... It was amazing. I love doing these psychic surgery events, because it's like, I'm back again. I'm there. I'm like flowing. I'm seeing all sorts in people. It's their signature frequency. I'm going straight into theirs.
But there's a part of you which innately stops the actual spirit flowing through your body into the ground with a straight back and actually saying, I am in power. And there is a part of you which slouches and goes into that slouching position where you basically just give up. And I saw that within your psychic surgery as well, where I had to put you back up straight. And I said, put your feet on the ground, put your back up, bring your energy into you. This is stuff I've dealt with many times before myself and had issues with in the past. It's like you go into this low frequency point of slave energy with the work, bend over the boiler and so on. It's like Bob has to have a straight back now. He has to have his feet straight. He has to start having the power to bring the soul into the body, be present here now. High frequency Bob is coming forward. And how can a high frequency Bob come forward in more moments during the day, where you can internalize bringing the high frequency within your core field and knowing what high frequency feels like riding a bike again. Going from high frequency to lower frequency, but there always has to be a part of you which wants to go back into that high frequency again and have that state, but match it all the time, and don't let people destroy it and bring you down and take your energy and so on. Because you've got it, bro. You just need to start willing it to the body, and you need to have those moments of, as Andrew says, suck at a buttercup moments, and getting rid of the argue for limitations when it comes out of you. And say, I'm not in the body. I'm not got my back straight. I'm slouched. I'm not giving myself awareness to myself now. And start noticing where your feet are at, like where your position, like, is your back straight? Are your feet firmly on the ground? Is your feet going to the side again? Are you coming out of your body? You're lowering your frequency and so on. Little subtle things like you can notice through self-observation, which can really help the greater growth of you. and it's really helped the great growth of me, and stuff Andrew has taught me from my posture and where I'm sat, how I'm positioned, parts of the programs where the feet go to the side and start going out the body and so on. So it's all going to be a will for you now.
I'll take that, definitely. Just my posture all through the day, and just my presence and my posture. Yes. So I'll take note of that, because you're right about that. On Sunday, I was bent over, and it is like
he was like bent, so bent over. I had to go over and like bring his spine straight.
Yeah.
Put your back straight. Don't break your back. Feet on the ground. Here we go.
It's like there's like a laziness of slave energy there, isn't there? And you're right. I can see it now.
Silent Bob.
Oh, Bob, can I give you something to do for that? It's just simple to do at home. It's one of those foam rollers. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're very solid. Oh, it feels so good on the back.
Oh, yeah.
You go backwards. Put it right by. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say they call something else here, but foam rollers. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So to straighten your back, you go the opposite way on the foam roller, underneath your scapula. If you're hunched over all day, and then this is just for the physical part of you, and
I need to pull my shoulders back and just pull my shoulders back, and I've got quite a straight back. I can bend it.
No, there's a problem going on in your spine at the moment. Like T1 and T2, there's an area which I actually picked up on over the weekend, but I didn't speak to you about. There's a part of your spinal column which is like always in the bent position. So it's really like messing up the way your feet and all your meridians are within like the feet and the hips and so on. And that's just 4 issues of you not being in your power.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about maybe just like getting some kind of massage and deep tissue massage? Do you think that would help and all, just to like get some of the knots out? Because I'm really...
Andrew, is there anything you can add here to this?
Foam roller, Bob.
Where he's just got to start doing and not talk about it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. Drawn in 7 different directions, and he's got to stop that from happening. Literally got to stop that from happening. You're the only one that can stop the chaos that's going on.
Yes. They're right, and it's chaos. There is chaos.
Yeah.
It's illusions of my own delusions. That's what I like the word, illusions. And obviously it's something that came through me the other day, and I thought this is a program that's inside me, which is connected to my nervous system, and it's the illusions, and then we believe in the illusions, and they are just illusions. There's something in there which I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, posture. Start noticing my body in the day, posture.
And the physical part, like I said, the foam roller, because you're bent over all day, you have to go the opposite way.
Yes.
So Bob, when you come, I've got that thing Andrew showed us to get called the wave, that you lie back on for 5 minutes, or you can get one from Amazon. So you lie back on it for about 5 minutes a day, and you let your head hang back. If you look up, I'm sure it's called the wave. And I think if you do it for 5 minutes today, it starts to correct that, because a lot of us have this forward posture now with phones and so on.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I've got it here, but it wouldn't be a bad thing for you to get it yourself.
I'll just get one myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like posture's like very important for me at the minute, and just as you say, just my spinal cord, just keep it straight and just like see what's going on.
You are no longer the hunchback of Notre Bob.
I am at the minute, but I'm getting better. Just pulling my shoulders back and all that. Even just now, I'm walking through my kitchen, pulling my shoulders back, and feel so much better. So it's like just realizing it. That's the thing. Pointing it out to me so I can just do it. And it's
Well,
like,
we don't need to point it out. You need to point it out for
I need
yourself.
to point it out. Yeah, that's right.
And remind yourself of when you went through the combined therapy system and that moment where I was saying, Bob, you need to listen, you don't listen. Then you had that moment where you were all on your own and was there and you actually listened and you really, you saw the program finally. So it's really seeing those arguing for limitations moment. Oh, yes, I'm fine. I'm just going to give it, like, as Andrew calls it, the word salad over on top of it and think everything's going to be all right. We're doing this, doing that. But it's much deeper than that. And it's going to be a day-to-day journey for you now of actually having the will and intention to be in the body, be present as you talk, knowing when you go out of the body, know when you slouch, know when you go into weird posture positions.
Yes.
Know when you're taking your power, when your frequency gets lowered from certain people who come into your life. Really evaluate, are those people really who I want in my life, some of them?
Well, I have kind of took note of that in some kind of degree and stopped like going out in them social events, let's say, and just concentrated on more sporty things, stuff that I'm enjoying, and like dance and stuff like that. So more the drinking side has stopped.
Yeah.
And that's that social point where they do drain my energy, and it's that old program or them old programs that do come in. And I do come out my body and I do give my energy away. So I am trying to kind of limit that, limit them situations. But yeah, I just need, so there's a lot to take on here, really. And it's something I will work on. Just especially
it's
doing
awareness,
the posture.
Bob. It's awareness.
Yeah, it's right. You think you've like you said before, Dale, you think you've mastered something and you're really top of the world. And then the health comes in and you've got to start again. But that's the great spirit. That's the mystery. And that's the beauty of it. It's just something else now, which is I've got to work on. Just to get my joy back. That's right. Get some joy back in my life. And just
get Frequency Bob back. Call to from Frequency Mountain. Hey, Bob, come back.
One thing I have stopped, though, Dale, is hyperbaric chambers. And I wonder and I have stopped that from the last month. And I was doing that every week. And I did feel really good when I was doing that.
And that's what you're doing again. You're trying to bring another, I'm doing this so I can be high frequency. This is going to make me high frequency instead of actually being in the moment, observing now, moment present, training here, Bob of the now, awareness, choices. Where am I going to go? What road am I going to take? Am I in the body? No, I'm not. That's part of you which goes out where you think, oh, the hyperbaric chambers are going to cure me. This is going to kill me. It's not. It's going to be a different process for you now because your inner work and inner journey is not working like it used to. It worked to a specific point, but now it's like you're clumping in mud and you're kind of like, it works a little bit. I'll give it a word salad and it doesn't work anymore.
My awareness, my responsibility's got bigger.
Yes, bro. Yes. And I say this out of love, man. Like I've been there and been to those parts and places where I've been out of my power. One word, Dale, one word, so on and so forth. So I know how it feels.
So it's like the breath work, really, and all. This is another thing. I had to stop the breath work. Similar thing. I've got to just, they're not things that I've got to do it myself and just go into them.
It's not about the do. It's not about the do anymore. It's about the will and the present and here and who you are as a person now, and what awareness training you can have in the moment and what you can do with a day and understand what parts of you go out of your body, what parts of you don't, and have awareness to bring higher frequency Bob through again. Because when you go into high frequency, you're calling to parts and pieces of you to stand in power. And at the moment, those parts and pieces of you aren't there. And you have to bring the will of yourself and the love and the funness of yourself through again. And start laughing, crying, actually hearing your frequency Bob stand on top of the mountain and shout and sing to the world. Like on Sound of Music, when she's on the valley, she's singing the sound of music. You've got to have the sound of Bob.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Kids are alive with the sound of Bob.
Write a song, Bob.
That's your homework. Get my sounds frequencies going again and just get that flow out my voice. It did sound really good though when I did that meditation and I was just flowing and just going to all these different places, bringing an eagle in. It was nice. I spent about 20 minutes.
You really need to find your inner phallus again.
Inner phallus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get those balls going.
Get them balls going, yeah. Get them balls, them inner balls out. Get them out the balls. Not hiding the balls anymore. Okay. Right.
Has anybody got any last words for Bobler? Because we're wrapping up the show because we've just gone over.
Step it up, Bob. Step it up.
Andrew's word or phrase of the night is, I think we've had on all three callers, is about externalizing it the whole time. So don't externalize it. It's internal.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Internal. Yep. Yes.
Internal, not external.
I'm going to write this stuff down. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bob.
Really appreciate that. Love you. Love you.
Oh, I want to hear Santa Claus come on. I think he has a song for us, guys.
Oh, he does.
Andrew. Yes. Santa Claus, Klaus Regley.
So we'll get Santa Claus on to come and sing your song, then we'll wrap up.
Yes.
Hey guys, any song?
Hello,
Hi, Klaus.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm on autumn break. That's always nice.
Yes.
And
from
the
Denmark,
weather was
right?
great today, and the nature was cool. Can you hear me, you guys?
Yeah, we can.
We can.
Yeah, in June I was on Adventures into Reality and talked to Andrew about firing my inner assholes.
Yeah.
So Andrew said, write a song, and when you've done, come on the show. And now it's done.
Okie doke.
And I'm quite happy with it, actually. It turned out to be more popular than I thought. Is the balance between the guitar and the voice okay?
Think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can hear that it goes in and out, but that's okay. Just go with it.
Here we go. Always there, putting me down. All you give me is self-doubt. Perfection is your way of life, judging me all of the time. Now I've had enough. Surrender as so number one. Here is your P45. Your pink slipped out of my life. Terminating goodbye. My inner asshole. You're fine. My life is not perfect. You appear, making me angry on what's not there. Criticism is your way of life, judging everything all of the time. Now I've had enough. Surrender, asshole, you are done. Here is your P45. Your pink slipped out of my life. Terminating goodbye. My inner asshole. You're fine. I will love myself with all of my flaws. It's all just a journey to discovery. If I've done my best, it is not a mistake. All just test on the road to self. I'm leaving you all behind. Inner assholes, bye-bye. I'm taking charge of happiness in my life. Light my light, just let it shine. You are out of the job. Surrender, assholes, I have won. Here is your P45. Your pink slip out of my life. Terminated goodbye. my inner ass. You're fine. My inner ass. You're fine.
Yay!
That was brilliant, Klaus.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Once I get on.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. That was brilliant.
That
was so funny. Pink
A
slip.
great play.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful.
That was cool.
And I actually use it in the sense that when that perfectionist pops up its inner asshole head, I point at it and go like, "Hey, you're fired."
I gotta write a song about you're getting fired.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Aw.
That's cool.
Come on for
Thank
another
you.
song in a few weeks or next week, whenever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was brilliant.
So, guys, we're going to be wrapping up the show. So, Laura, what's happening on Sunday? What's going on?
Sunday, we've got our webinar.
Yes.
We've got, I'm not sure what we're calling it. It's spiritual preparation for all the upcoming chaos that's going to be happening, if it's not happening already. Yeah, so that is 5 o'clock UK time. Is there anything else happening on Sunday then, Dale?
No, I think that was it. Then first.
Dan's gonna run around naked.
Yeah.
He'll be collecting dollar bills for the foul source movement.
Yes. The foul source movement.
Where can they sign up for the election webinar? Where can they sign up for this? It's $15 or free for members.
Is there a link, Joel, yet?
Yeah. Maybe Joel will put the link in.
Hold on.
Yeah, all the events and everything we've mentioned will be in the description in the show. So if you just look onto the description bit, and all the links and everything will be in there.
It's on Andrew's website, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And members show on Thursday at 9. Oh, members show on Thursday at 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
After the first hour of Adventures into Reality. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. So that's happening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now what?
Yes.
No.
Now what?
No.
Now what, ladies and gentlemen?
So
We
sorry.
got to have somebody turn that into a rap song.
Well,
Now what?
what? Yeah. and the other one is How's That Working For You? That's got to be a rap song
Yeah,
as well.
how's that working out for you? Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Me to work and I saw Ascended Master. Now what?
Guys that we didn't get to, come on another week, won't you?
Yeah.
Who's ever
Yes.
here that didn't, because I know you were waiting ages. Sorry, Pete and whoever else I saw just now. Come on again.
Yes.
So we can grill you, roast you, hot seat you.
Laura used to roast you with her garlic butter. There you, Laura.
Oh.
We'll put you on a low burn. And
Yeah.
also as well, for people who haven't subscribed and liked, we appreciate everyone's support. So drop a subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment if you're listening in the future as well. We appreciate and love all of you. Thank you for listening and supporting. So Laura, how can people get a hold of you?
Laura, 2feathers2 at gmail.com. Come and have a session with me. I'm a qualified counsellor and hypnotherapist, and we will be opening the pain management clinic in the UK in early December. So that's very exciting. That's with Dale.
Ooh. Yay.
Yay. Andrew?
Yay.
Well, sorry, you guys know who I am. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. Find out all about it. I'm open to having sessions. We have an automated booking system. There's a phone number you can also call if you want to have any questions about sessions. And I look forward to seeing you all on this Sunday's webinar.
Mm.
Thank you, Andrew. Amy?
Yes, join our social platform with David Ellis and I at community.universalcitizentv.com, where it's a place to share your fellowship and your knowledge and your wisdom. And we have free resources there and meditations. I was going to say medications. We don't have medications. And we have AI tools and software to build your business. So, and also live certified classes that are going on right now as we speak. Not as we speak, but on the weekends.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if anybody would like any guidance to find their inner file source, their inner phallus, head over to daletobin.com. I offer soul surgery, psychic surgery, soul retrieval sessions. A great show, everyone. And we will see you Thursday for Andrew's show, and have